Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Happy Friday, or maybe it's happy Saturday. We are so happy to have you here at USA Global TV. And hello to our friends who are listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. I love doing this show in great detail because of our co-host, my friend, and the wonderful guests that he brings to our platform. Let us welcome Philip SYKES. He is the principal of the British School of Excellence. Hello, Philip.
Dr. JACALYN, a pleasure as always, and hello to the wonderful, amazing audience around the world dialing in from wherever you may be. A huge warm welcome. And as we always say, can you believe it's Friday already?
I cannot believe it, Philip. I just wings by. And this show always goes by so fast as well, because we have such great conversations. And today we're going to be talking about a number of things, but also some great rules for etiquette that people are really interested in. You brought a fabulous guest named Alice. Before we bring her out, Philip, I know our audience wants to hear more about you and the work you're doing at the British School of Excellence. And then I believe you're going to lead us in a prayer.
I'd love to, if I may. Thank you. Well, again, a huge warm welcome to all of you amazing people who take the time to tune in, if not live, at a later date. And I just pray and hope that we bring some serious value to you and the people that you surround yourself with. Here at the British School of Excellence, we really are on a mission and a journey to assist as many people as possible through the power of etiquette and manners. And for anyone out there who thinks etiquette and manners are for posh people or it's antiquated, it couldn't be further from the truth. Etiquette and manners will absolutely, wholeheartedly open doors for you that I would say some of the most phenomenal education cannot. And I've stolen that from a wonderful Clarence Thomas. Here at our organization, we work with children, we work with teenagers, we work with adults across the board. We have various programs to suit anyone's needs for anybody who wants to put their best foot forward. I can't say more than that, because I would hopefully get you, well, I can say more than that, but I'd like you to look at our website, www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. This organization was founded very much on bringing people together, taking the good from one another's lives, from one another's cultures, and implementing it into our lives so that we can connect and engage with people across the world. There's one race, and that's the human race. We need to move forward. And this organization focuses on you as an individual, your organization, on how you can be better than you were yesterday. So I urge all of you to make time to engage with us, and we would love to have a conversation with you. Right. I think under the current circumstances, the world has obviously been thrown many, many curveballs, especially over the last 24, 26 months. And I'd like to relay a prayer by Archbishop Justin Welby and Archbishop Stephen Cottrell. And this is a prayer for Ukraine. And it goes along the lines of, God of peace and justice, we pray for the people of Ukraine today. We pray for peace and the laying down of weapons. We pray for all those who fear for tomorrow, that your spirit of comfort would draw them near to them. We pray for those with power over war or peace, for wisdom, discernment, and compassion to guide their decisions. Above all, we pray for all your precious, wonderful children at risk and in fear, that you would hold and protect them. We pray in the name of our God, the Prince of Peace. Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's very more, you're just so appropriate, Dr. Jacqueline. Right now, I think all of us can make an effort one way or the other. I know here in the United Kingdom, like many countries, huge movements have been put into place that are just supporting and helping this atrocity. And we can all make a difference. We can all do something small. And if we all do something small, like that wonderful, wonderful quote that I love sharing with everyone, if we all do a random act of goodness, a random act of kindness, a random act of just being amazing, we can all start to hopefully set the world in the right direction.
Very well said, Philip. Yes. And it all goes back again to etiquette and manners, to living a life of grace and to support other people across the world and in our own communities, in our own home, and to listen to people without judging.
Completely. And just love the way you put that. I think that is so true. We need to get out of our own way and start focusing on one another, not ourselves. Yes, we look after ourselves, our health and our well-being, but really go above and beyond, and we can all make a difference.
Absolutely. Thank you, Philip. Tell us about Alice.
I've got a very dynamic, unique individual joining us today. Alice, born in Rwanda, has experienced some very harrowing atrocities through her life, but that's not what we're going to harp on. Lives in Kenya now and is an incredibly smart woman. She studied econometrics, and that word for me is a big word, but obviously it's to do with economy, and she's an economist by profession and her background, but she has this incredible passion for etiquette and social graces, and she set up a virtual school of sort of elegance, incorporating her etiquette, and she's really helped a huge amount of people, mainly sort of young entrepreneurs and CEOs and business owners, to rebrand themselves and their businesses in Kenya and in Rwanda and Burundi. And she really has got the most incredible character. She's got a wonderful nature and way of connecting with people. Firstly, she's got $1 million smile, that's for sure. And secondly, she's an incredibly passionate individual about continued professional development. I've had the privilege of working with Alice through our organization. She's recently completed our Train the Trainer program, and I know that Alice has got some amazing ideas, thoughts, and a vision for the future. So over to Alice. I'd love to welcome you with open arms, Alice.
What a beautiful introduction. Welcome, Alice.
Hi.
Lovely to see you, Alice. Welcome, welcome.
I'm glad to be here too.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Alice, it's such a privilege to meet you, and the introduction that Philip gave you obviously is just the tip of what you have to offer. So tell us about your education in economics and economic metrics. What is that all about?
Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on your TV. Thank you again for your invitation, Mr. Philip. My background, I don't know if I can just speak about my education background first.
Yes, please.
Yes, I hold a master's degree in econometrics. It's the science of using metrics to analyze the economy. So I'm an econometrics researcher.
When did you realize you had a passion for numbers and studying the economy?
I think for me, going into math, science, and physics was a kind of refuge to me. I wanted to go away from people. I wanted to go away from talk. I wanted to go away from communicating and expressing myself because I had lost a big chunk of my personal self-esteem at a younger age, and I never wanted to interact with people. So my joy was into science, demonstrating, imitating boys somehow, doing the hardest part of things, and my pleasure was always being the tough girl.
Well, thank you for that transparency, and look at you out of your comfort zone right now. Yay.
Credit to Philip.
Yeah, not only credit to me, Alice, you've really taken yourself on an incredible journey, and I know you shared some very sort of deep bits about your background and your past. And one of the things that really resonated with me is that, just complimenting what you're saying there, is that you just wanted to put yourself in the books. You just, people like avoid, you didn't want any sort of interaction. And then you shared with us last week, and the group that you were in, this wonderful cohort, you opened up and you shared, there was a pivoting point in your life where you realized that, you know, there's a huge amount of power in understanding oneself, obviously, but also in power of etiquette and manners and situational awareness and emotional intelligence.
Yes, true. Maybe if I can dig a little bit so that I clear how I feel like etiquette and manners really changed my life for good, is that I lost my parent at a very young age. I lost my father when I was 11. I lost my mom during the tragic event of genocide in Rwanda when I was 13. I'm the firstborn of 5 girls. So I immediately switched to survival mode at that age. I never believed that excellence is anything that really I have a virtue to. So I became a responsible girl at a very young age, and I only felt that being tough is my only card to play. So I didn't realize that I had trauma, I had uh, fear, I had things to deal with. I didn't go for therapy, I didn't do anything at all. I didn't realize that it has impacted how I behave, how I perceive my worth, how I perceive my understanding and my self esteem. So it has really hindered my success in so many ways, not academically. Academically, I was excelling because I choose to hide in that cocoon of being tough, doing the toughest task, showing that success is only there when you work hard. And it also affected my dating life, because I think I was offering too much than I'm supposed to. I became like a people pleaser somehow until my really late adulthood. It affected my relationship with my ex. I divorced, and since that time, something hit my mind and say, I really need to look back and do an introspective and see what's wrong with me. Why do I keep attracting wrong partners? There is a pattern in me that keep attracting the same pattern in different people. So until I realized that, I started working on myself, working on my behavior, working on my spirit, working on my appearance, and working on the way I used to behave. And later on, I embraced etiquette, I embraced good manners, I worked on my appearance, I embraced femininity. So every year I worked on something. I started investing in personal development skills, like that. Then I became who you are seeing today on the screen.
Congratulations. I mean, I just see your face light up. And by the way, I know that's not easy to share that kind of information. I've also attracted the same partner over and over again, which is why I'm remaining single. But you have done a great amount of work, and I just appreciate the fact that you're sharing it with our audience. So
Yeah.
when you look at etiquette and manners and the journey that you've been through, the pain that you've suffered, the introspection you've had to do, how has etiquette and manners changed you and moved you forward to where you are today? Can you give some specific examples?
Yes, I can give some specific example, maybe on the on the work related success. Because before I used to think I earn contract because I'm smart, I earn contract because I'm able to deliver. And I will go, I will do my researches, I will do my presentation, and I will earn my cash and I will leave. I never cared how it's important to maintain a good relationship with clients and other stakeholders. I didn't know how to network. I have zero clue on even having a good posture while doing a presentation. I have zero clue that my appearance is going to even pitch for me before I pitch for any. I had that kind of ego, if I can call it like that, thinking that my brain is sufficient. I didn't know that I need to have the pie. The moment I grabbed the idea, I seized the meaning and the power of the pie. I decided to say, you know what, I'm not going to keep quiet anymore. I want to light up everyone else who has similar issues as what I had. And my formula is this. That's I keep saying the pie, the pie. The pie is I came to understand that if you want to excel in life, professionally, relationship wise, you have to have three things. You have to have the pie. That is P stand for the power of your poise, how you look, how you present yourself, the power of your image, the power of your posture, the power of your body language. If you can master that poise, that presence, you're present physically, emotionally, and psychologically. And the power of E, that is the interest. Are you focused on moving forward, defending your interest, but also minding the other person's interest? Because at the end of the day, it is about what you're earning and about what I'm earning. So if I don't see any interest in working with Philip, I won't come. If I didn't know that after this I'm going a certification, I'm going to have an international accreditation, I wouldn't have come to Business School of Excellence. So that E, which represents for me the center of interest between two people, is something that we really need to know and master. And then again, the A, the expertise. For me, I used to focus on the expertise and ignoring the rest. And now the expertise is the last section of the pie that someone needs now to bring out. I am an econometrist, I studied ABC, I did this and that. That doesn't really tie a relationship. A relationship comes when people see who you are, how you present yourself, if there is any correlation between what you say you can deliver and how you present yourself. And the moment I mastered that, I can't keep quiet. Honestly, I can't.
Ooh, I love it. I've got it all down here.
Shoot me down, Alice. And you know, you are just so coachable. You're just amazing. And just the way you were speaking with such conviction, your beautiful body language, honestly, it was fantastic. Just everyone out there, hopefully watching this, would have absolutely connected on all levels that you just shared and brought across. It's just, and then you finish off with that $1 million smile. It's just mind blowing. And this is exactly what this is all about. You know, the proof is in the pudding. There you go. There's someone out there who's booming and blossoming. And not only that, this doesn't come naturally, but you understood the power of it, right?
Yes, I understood the power of it. And I could see the me of before and the me of after. I was focusing on making good slide, hash word, and scientific formulas and all that. It was consuming my life, not focusing on creating rapport with the person I'm interacting with. And that has really probably taken away so many projects I could have won if I took much focus into focusing on my P and my I.
I think a great takeaway from that is the fact that the expertise is the last part of the pie. And you mentioned that you used to lead with that. I think many of us have, oh, I have this degree, I've done this, I've done that. But to your point, that's not creating a relationship. That's kind of just look at me, look at what I've done. So when that goes further down the line and you focus on your presence and interest is so important, having that interest in the other person. You've really summarized it for us in such a nice way, PIE.
Yeah. And it is as simple as that, because when you look at E, it's who I am, what I did, what I achieved. It's me and my ego and myself. But when you look at P, when you look at the interest, the I in the center, It's how human are you? How compassionate are you? How inclusive are you? How well behaved are you? Yes, you have that expertise. You are a doctor. You are a CEO. You are a researcher. But how human are you? How are you able to relate to other people? I'm glad that Mr. Philip opened with a prayer. This is something that is more touching than coming here to tell us I have a British School of Excellence. This is being a human. And this is what humanity is losing day by day. We are more focused on the last piece. We are always want to become the expert.
Yes, very well said. Great points. We've got some comments. Let's take a look from, I hope I say it right, Jazzy, is it? Jazzy?
Oh, Jessie is one of my trainees in Connoisseur d'Elegance.
She writes, "Hi, Alice. I'm Alice's student. I have absolutely gained a lot from Alice. Her sessions are systematic and detailed. She is transforming women in Nairobi." How about that? Wow.
Thank you, Jessie. She's among my trainee in my intake now. Yeah.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Jessie.
commenting. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. Also on YouTube, Marie, Amy, I'm not going to know how to say the last name. Anyone want to try?
Marie Eme is also another one. She's a doctor. She's based in Rwanda. I went to the university with her in the first year. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Marie. And over on LinkedIn, Ann Dunn. Hi. Hi. Nice to have you with us, Ann.
Mm-hmm.
This is just so beautiful, and you know, I think really at the nutshell for me, cracking the nut on the head here is how do we show up every day? You know, we can the academia side of it is fantastic in so many ways, but it's almost the academic side is actually a bonus. Everything else that you do on a daily basis is all about showing up and making sure that you have this, I think, drive and this vision to be better than you were yesterday. And I think if every single one of us just look at one way we can do something different is the way we did yesterday, and try and put our best foot forward, as in when I wake up tomorrow morning, what could I do slightly better or slightly differently to show up and make a difference? And I know we're human beings, and I know we have good days and bad days, but we also know the power of etiquette and manners can shift our mindset as well. It can absolutely help you through those times where you're finding a challenging day, or a day that's full of stress, or you've been tripped up by someone, or someone's been rude to you, because that rudeness can absolutely throw you a speed wobble. It actually happened to me yesterday. Dr. JACALYN, you and I have spoken about this. Alice, we shared it last week. I popped into our little village yesterday morning because unfortunately my little son's school teacher's leaving in a week's time. So we got her a good luck card and farewell card. And as I crossed the street at the Green Man, I turned to my right, and there was some chap just on his phone, and he was just in his own world walking around. And I said, "Sorry, excuse me." He said, "You could go around me." And I was literally walking in that direction, but he wasn't even focusing. It was just me. And then he starts effing and blinding at me. So I just said to him, "I'm terribly sorry, but this is not your workspace. Please have some situational awareness." And this is it. We've become so wrapped up in our own little worlds, and we just have lost that. And I know it's a generalization, but we've just lost that ability in our lives. And as I said, it's a generalization, to be more aware of what's going on around us, and to be more aware of how we can support and help other people. And this, for me, is the real key attraction to understanding the power of etiquette and manners, your emotional intelligence.
How did he receive that information?
He just stormed off. He literally walked away. I think he didn't even come back at me. He just, I mean, I did it with good tonality as well. I wasn't aggressive, because I could have told him a what for. But again, I'm not going. No one's going to gain anything from that. But you know, whether it's sunk in, I very much doubt it. But I'm just giving that as an example because it was so fresh in my mind yesterday. Now, did I let that person upset me for the rest of the day? Absolutely not. I was peeved at the moment. But again, as Dr. JACALYN, you know so well, and Alice, you know, through building and growing your EQ and understanding little tools like the 6-second rule, just take it in, breathe it, and let it go. You know, it's something that I think is a very key tool that we can implement into our lives, because you don't want to then go into the next sort of scene or scenario of your day bringing that mood with you. Don't let your mood dictate your manners. You know,
Yes,
this is something,
I
and
agree.
it'll trip you up. It'll absolutely trip you up.
Mhm.
That's a big point for a rule of etiquette. I love it. And we've covered several so far. We've got more to talk about. We've got another comment from Juliet, who's watching over on YouTube. Indeed, every day is about showing up and being your best self. Hello, Coach Alice.
Hi, Juliet. She's my trainee as well. Hi.
Well, obviously
Mm-hmm.
your students love you, and that comes through. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
take a moment, and we're going to take a break and watch a couple of our sponsors clips, and also pay tribute to the people of Ukraine. So let's take a moment, and we'll be right back on USA Global TV. Stay with us.
Super.
Okay.
Take a moment.
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 So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment. Diane Floyd Bame's A Song of Peace tells the story of a young lad named Tommy whose fervent wish for peace on earth touches the hearts of his friends and family, spreads to his community, and eventually unites the whole world around making his dream of peace a reality for everyone. Sit down with the children in your life and share Tommy's amazing story of love and hope. Sing your own song of peace and invite the children to join you. Tommy's tale is more than just a story. It's a movement, and everyone's warmly welcome to take part. You'll find A Song of Peace, along with many other wonderful learning and enriching opportunities for children of all ages, at dianefloydbame.com.
Welcome back to USA Global TV and to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. Our show today is The Power of Etiquette Matters. And as always, I'm here with Philip SYKES sharing the stage. And our guest today is Alice. bit about her background. She's had tremendous adversity in her life, and she took on a persona as the tough girl. And at some point, she looked at her life and said, I'm attracting the same people over and over again. What is it about me that I need to really look at? She's extremely well accomplished and successful, but she's let us know that your expertise is not what you lead with when you're looking to connect with people and show up in the world. You want to have presence and intelligence in your interest level for other people. So, Alice, we've got another wonderful comment, but I want us to continue providing etiquette rules for people around the world, especially during this difficult time. So I'm going to refer to Alice. What else would you like to share with our audience?
Apart from the pie, it's also important to understand their culture, to understand other people's culture, and to value it. We are living in a world with less patience, with too much adversity. I would suggest it's important to understand other countries' etiquette, to understand their culture, to understand their history, to be more inclusive.
Excellent points. Really good. Thank you. Let's look at a couple of their comments. We have one from Sunny over on YouTube. Hi, Coach Alice.
Hi, Sonny. Thank you.
And we have another comment from Diana. Coach Alice, making a difference each and every single day. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Diana. I appreciate.
Thank you to all of you for watching. Philip?
Yeah, I just would love to elaborate. You know, cultural differences. The key is in that word, cultural differences. If we make an effort to really go above and beyond, to understand that we're all different, thank goodness we are. Otherwise, the world would be an incredibly boring place, and I don't mean that negatively. Just from an understanding that our backgrounds are different from all over the world. You can be living, and actually, it's quite fascinating. I had a phenomenal coaching day in London, my first real coaching day in London in person on Wednesday with a massive, huge international organization, which started out in India. And they're a global operation now in the tech space. And I had these amazing this amazing group of 18 predominantly gentlemen. There was one amazing lady in the group, and predominantly Indian with one or two English people, white English people there as well. And it was fascinating. We chatted in the break, and one of the gentlemen was explaining to me that he comes from a certain part of India that is completely foreign to another part of India. They don't speak the same language. The cuisine's not the same. They have. He was a Sikh. The gentleman from down south was a completely different background, and they are foreigners in their own country of India, for example. So just within, and Alice, you'll know Africa is a melting pot for all of this as well. You know, the cultural differences, the tribal differences, and we all here in the United Kingdom, there are differences, and it's broken down from north to south, east to west. Same in the United States, the world over. They're going to be cultural differences, and the world's become a very small place. So it's no longer just one nationality living in their country. It's a melting pot. You come to London and you'll meet 40 different people from different backgrounds, from different countries. We need to understand that we can connect on such a dynamic level when we just make a little effort to understand more about that person, that country, their cuisine, and the things that they love doing, the things that they are absolutely passionate about. And you must also understand that through this journey of cultural differences and diversity, here in the world we live in is going to be very different to other parts of the world that have never really been exposed to television or been exposed to social media. Their whole lives will be different. And we look at that now as abnormal almost. We don't understand.
Being primitive.
Absolutely. And some of us wish we could go back to that day and that area, you know, of our lives. And I just want to sort of I think something that really resonated with me, and I just want to sort of, I think, break the train of thought here for a second. When we had that advert earlier with the gentleman, and I don't know his name, but gee, he's definitely photographed some pretty amazing people. You know, when he shared that moment, and that whole thing about take a moment, and we close our eyes and we just go to our happy place, that in itself can shift your mindset. That in itself can absolutely help you make a change, a positive change in your day. And something we talk about, which we did an exercise this last week with Alice and her cohort. We talked about small talk, and a lot of people look at small talk as being a pain, or they don't have time for small talk. And when you talk about cultural differences and people from all different parts of the world, one thing that can absolutely help us glue our connection and help us get to know one another is through the power of small talk. I call it the glue. I absolutely call it the glue. And one of the things that I asked Alice during last week, and I said, you know, we can talk about X, Y, and Z and all things that don't sort of really trip anyone up or make anyone feel uncomfortable. And then I asked Alice, said, what are you passionate about? And I asked every single person in that cohort, and actually on all our courses, whether they're young children, adults, teenagers, I always go down the route of, okay, so now you've shared various bits about your life, but what are you really passionate about? And just as that photographer was saying, you take a moment and you go into a happy place, there's a whole, almost like a light comes over you. The same happens when we share with people what we're passionate about. We explode, boom! Our body language changes, everything shifts. And this in itself is something, it's just what you said earlier, Alice, your poise, your posture, how do you present yourself?
Yeah.
Absolutely, Phil.
I agree. I would want to add something on that Mr. Filippo has said. Just right now, when we were coming with my husband to pick the kids, there was one child who was making a comment and saying, read what is on my t-shirt. And he was doing it with so much swag. And the t-shirt had, I'm the black doesn't crack. And he was feeling too nice. And I was telling my husband that this is something that is misleading our generation. Being a black and overexposing it, it's also being a racist. Because you are already black, just like anyone else is, whatever they are. So why do you feel like making it obvious is important? You're trying to make the other part that them they crack. What is that? So this is a language that is a display of poor etiquette. And I believe this is my task, to go back and try to talk to young people and tell them, hey, we have to have a line here.
And Alice, someone just made a comment. I think it's right in alignment with what you're talking about, unlearning certain things. Hello to, I think it's Annette. So happy to see Coach Alice. Thank you for helping me unlearn and learn matters being a lady.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you, Annette. Mm-hmm.
It is so powerful. And Alice, I want to harp on, you know, just what you said there. When people are being sort of, I suppose, steered in that sort of direction, it's going to trip that person up for the rest of their lives. We have a duty, you know. Again, I shared earlier on, the organization wasn't about sort of setting up the British School of Etiquette because Britain's got good manners and etiquette. It may have been synonymous with it back in the day, but the world over now needs etiquette and manners to help us navigate our way through life. This is it. This is, you know, etiquette and manners are there to guide us. They're not there to trip us up. They are like the traffic lights of society. And it was very much, the name was put together to draw people because people were obviously connecting and joining the dots. But really, at the end of the day, it's about learning the good and taking the good from one another's cultures and implementing that into our lives, and understanding that there's one race, and that is the human race. We need to move forward. We need to move forward together, and we are stronger together. As you said, Alice, born black, you'll never be anything other than black. I'm born white, I'll never be anything other than white, unless, you know, I jump into a can of green paint for a day. Whatever. You know,
it's not your own making. Why are you making fun of it?
It blows me away. And unfortunately, the world over, we need, and it's from history, you know, unfortunately. And actually, I said to my wife yesterday, I said, where was it in society, and I'm sure if we dig deep into the history books, where was it in society that a white person decided that they could label a black person, and then this person could label that person, and we all, and I don't want to go down this route, obviously, and get into a rabbit hole here, but who was it, where was it, how did they identify that you're less than me or you're more superior than me? I'm still flawed by that, but I do know that when we understand the importance of human connection, we understand the importance of how we treat one another. You know, as Maya Angelou said, and you'll know these both so well, you two, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And let's just go through life like that.
Yes.
Yes, all good points. And there's an old expression which is so relevant, is put yourself in someone else's shoes. There's
Yes.
so much judgment going on today across the world. And to your point, Philip, like during this pandemic, the world is so much smaller because you can reach out to anyone, anywhere through technology. And we have to be mindful that we all want the same thing. It's your point. It's one race, the human race. So let's use etiquette and manners as a great way to show compassion and grace and support other people.
I'll say hallelujah and amen to that, 100%. We've all got to make a difference by showing up with the right energy, the right attitude, the right mindfulness, you know, being more present in our lives. We've got to be more present, you know. We've got to get rid of this, this sort of, what's the word someone used the other day? It's all about me, 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 me. You see people taking
Self-promotion, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, selfies, it's all about, it's just become so, it's become actually a very deep, dark hole for so many people. They think that's what life is all about. And it's so much more than that. And funny enough, I mean, I know this is maybe going off piste a bit, but we have a great television series here by a gentleman by the name of Ben Fogel, and he goes off on different, to different parts of the world. And his current series is called Escape to the Wild. And he met this vet who's living in Sri Lanka, who's looking after stray dogs, and she's doing the most phenomenal job. And she recalls living back in the UK where she qualified as a vet. You know, weekends was going online, never wore the same outfit twice. You know, am my lips puckered enough? And I'm not saying one shouldn't present yourself nicely, but that's the trap in the world that so many people have fallen into. This materialistic, you know, me mindset and attitude, whereas we could just turn that around. And she's decided to take herself on a completely different path. And she feels that whenever we all have a purpose in this world. Trust me, anyone listening out there that doesn't realize you've got a purpose, I promise you, when you go back to what Alice was saying, you know what you do, you know how you do it, but what is your why? What are you passionate about? What is your purpose in this world? And when you can dig deep and find that out, you can start to trigger and make an amazing difference to yourself and to everyone else out there that you can come into contact with. And
I would add something. There is a sense of fulfillment that comes, that I believe I am where I was born to be. I believe I'm doing what is supposed to be done. Because when I look back in my career life, I used to work so hard, travel so a lot, having deadlines and all that. You know how life is demanding in the corporate world. But when I see today, if I sit with women, they send me pictures of what they have done. I have a friend of mine who was attending a wedding somewhere in South Africa. She was saying, "Hey, coach, look what I'm wearing. Look this, look at that." So I feel more contented. I feel like, I think this is what I was born for. So to me, that kind of contentment is priceless. There's nothing you will pay me. There's nothing I will work to have that fulfillment. We have seen people who earn millions in any industry, but they end up with depression. They suicide themselves because they are not fulfilling their purpose. There is a kind of contentment. Maybe Philip will tell us how he feels when we tell him, "Hey, Philip, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I have accomplished this and that." There is a kind of contentment and fulfillment that comes with falling into your purpose. And things just fall into place like a puzzle, like this. Here I'm on Global TV. I never applied. I never knew I never knew you as my host. Etiquette and manners landed me here today.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And how powerful is that, what you just shared? It is so true. You know, we have a fulfillment in this earth, in this world. We all have a purpose. And you know, as you know, I love sharing a piece from a book. But you know, when we look back on our lives, Did I really take the bull by the horns? Did I really end up doing what I love? Did I pursue my life and my career like a wild, hungry dog? You know, and you think about that. We're all given 86,400 seconds each and every single day. You've got to make every bit of that day count, because time doesn't do refunds. It really doesn't on any level. And we can absolutely put a foot wrong by being unkind and unnasty to unkind and nasty to someone, and you can never ever take that back, because that has happened. You can't rewind the clock and say, oh, let's just delete that and move forward. You know, we can't. And this is exactly it. And Alice, you know, when you were sharing what you just shared with us right now, your whole body language could almost jump through the screen. It was just like boom, it was like this eruption and explosion, because as you said, there's nothing that nothing in the world could have done what taking on board your journey with, you know, your life coaching, your manners, your etiquette, your emotional intelligence. It has shifted your whole world into a direction that you never dreamed of.
So can we say for our audience that one of the rules of etiquette is to find your purpose, find your passion?
I would absolutely say so. It's a guide. You know, by the way, everyone, etiquette is not set in stone. Etiquette are guide. They're there to guide us. They're there to steer us. They're there to help us. There are rules of engagement, absolutely, 100%. But etiquette is something that has elasticity, and that is, I would absolutely put that as a rule. Definitely, Dr. JACALYN.
Thank you.
It is. I would say that it is knowing the savoir vivre, knowing how to connect and live with people, and that is going to help you find your purpose.
Thank you, Alice. We have a question from one of the audience members. Before I put it up, I just want to thank Jassy over on YouTube who subscribed to our channel. That's fantastic. We really appreciate you. All right, let's have a look at this question from Diana. Isn't the little boy's attitude also a show of confidence, being self-aware? I think that's what she meant. Or maybe the message on the t-shirt has its pros and cons. Who wants to take a first stab at this one?
Yeah, it was the attitude itself. It was the attitude itself going, and he was displaying the message to his fellow colleague and read this. And he was making fun of the other person who was reading that. And I didn't take it politely, because he was trying to make fun of the other person. And again, there is lack of awareness as well. When you don't know that what you're doing is currently offending the other person, because that is also lack of awareness. You don't know that me being harsh on you is actually maybe working on your self-esteem in a negative way. It is affecting you. And this is something I can relate to as a person before my etiquette classes. I used to be me. You know, sometimes you put a mean comment on someone, and for you to defend yourself, you say, I'm doing me. There are even songs that say, I'm a do me. You are doing yourself to the peace of others. So this is something that has lack of etiquette, lack of good manners, lack of consideration, lack of humility. So obviously it's poor. It's display of poor etiquette.
Thank you, Alice. Philip, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just think we need to understand of being more self-aware. You know, again, everyone says, you know, there's that wonderful, any religious book out there quotes it, and Confucius was the one back in 565 AD that brought it to light. He said, you know, he very much had the philosophy of, you know, treat others the way you would like to be treated, or do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. Now, not everyone wants to be treated, you know, Dr. JACALYN, you don't want to be treated the same way I maybe like to be treated, and Alice, and vice versa. So there's the platinum rule. There's becoming more self-aware, getting to know who's my audience, who am I connecting with, who am I engaging with. And when we do that, I think we'll often take a good couple of seconds and moments to stop and pause before we engage or act or open our mouths. We don't get it right all the time, because the head, the mouth, the brain and the tongue don't work well together. We often think something and it comes out and you, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I take it back. I'm sorry. But if we really become far more sort of self-conscious, self-aware, have situational awareness, then you're going to start to see how you as an individual, how we as individuals can shift and change and make hopefully better decisions.
And I think you really hit on something that we need to just keep reinforcing is that 6-second rule. Before you react, before you blurt something out, just take a pause, take a few deep breaths, and then consider what you're going to put out there and how's it going to be received by the other person.
Completely.
Yes.
Completely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think when, as you said, Dr. Jacqueline, earlier, we all forget to put our feet in someone else's shoes. It's very easy to stand back and judge and comment and, and Alice alluded to something, putting a negative comment on social media. Hey, I can just do that. I don't care. It's me. That's me. Take it or leave it. That's who I am. Well, if that's anyone's attitude, then honestly, I truly believe that individual is going to hit a very hard roadblock along their journey at some point in their lives, because everything we do will absolutely come back to us. I truly believe that. So a lot of people who are continuously being kind and generous and thoughtful and good etiquette and good manners, they will continue through life accordingly, and maybe they don't ever have anything dynamic or amazing landing in their lap per se. They just live a wonderful, happy life. But what they're doing is they're investing for the future, for the people around them, for their family, for people that are close to them. You don't think about instant gratification, because there's no instant in this particular scenario. This is a long game, and etiquette manners is a lifestyle choice. It's not something you wake up one morning and say, oh, today I'm going to put my best behavior and put my best foot forward, and then you go back and flop it back into the couch and say, well, I've done my bit and now I'm no longer, we shift and we change. No, this is consistency through our lives. And I think it goes with that. We have a cup here at the organization, which literally says, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I think that for me is a very, very, very powerful statement. And I think if all of us could absolutely put that as a screensaver, or just have that close at hand, I just think that is one of the most powerful quotes out there. In whatever you want to do in this world, just learn to be kind. And just by doing that, everything starts to change and shift.
Really great points. Thank you. And I want to present something that happened here on this platform last week and have you both comment when it comes to etiquette and manners. We obviously are a live show, and I had a guest who's a performer, and he had a big following, and people were commenting, and one person continuously put negative comments, not just one comment, but they kept coming back over and over again about this person. And the other people who were commenting were reaching out to that person with the negative energy and just said, we're sending you love, we're sending you light. And the negative person just kept putting more and more negative comments. And to watch something like that unfold on live television, that someone has, maybe they have a lot of pain, I don't know what's going on with them, but they were spending their time insulting someone else in a public venue, and those comments are out there forever.
Yeah, this is also something we need to really focus and talk on, because we live in the world of social media nowadays. And I don't know, some people ignore the impact of negative comments on others. We don't know each and everyone's capacity of handling negative comments. Some of us live with underlying childhood traumas that affect our everyday life. So everyone, as you mentioned, is battling a battle that we have no idea on. We should really mind what we put. We don't have something good to speak or to write about someone. Keep that comment to yourself. Net etiquette, it's something we need to reinforce, and we need to really embrace and advocate for, because it's hurting and it's also affecting, and it has the same effect as physical attacks, because it takes people to trauma. So many people are depressed because of what they hear about other people say. You look skinny, it's like you have gotten a disease, you are a loser, and your subconscious capture that, and it is going to keep giving you that information back in your mind, in your memory when you're sleeping. Everyone, even us, we still have snippet of self-doubt. when such a person comes to you and give you negative comments, they keep adding and reaffirming your self-doubt. If you don't have a higher emotional intelligence level, you're going to believe in those crafts and you will end up hating yourself as well. So we should embrace more humility on social media. And when we see bullies like that, we understand such kind of person need more compassion and love, actually.
Exactly. That person's going through something and they're taking it out. And maybe it's because they wanted to get attention because this is television and they just want someone to reach out to them. So I think that's
Yeah.
another great tip for etiquette and manners, that especially on social media, just remember that people can find other people, right? You can't hide behind some handle now. Everybody eventually can find out who somebody is. And
Yeah.
you're setting a tone that may set someone else off, or a series of events off that you had no idea about. So to me, if you don't like something, don't say anything about it. Go find something else. There's plenty of things to keep us our interests and things to learn and find our own passion.
Yeah, on the road as well. You're driving on a traffic road or someone is overtaking you, you're busy following them, abusing them. It's not necessary, honestly.
Yeah,
It really isn't.
Yeah.
in those
Yeah.
cases, you might need more than 6 seconds. It might be 20 seconds before you react or take action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just going back to the social media, there is so much etiquette revolving around social media. You know, pause before you post. Absolutely. And again, I think ask yourself one question. If I were to post that, or someone posted that about me, how would it make me feel? And that is something really, really fundamental to take on board. The third thing to this is that, as you just quite rightly said, Dr. JACALYN, once it's out there on social media, it's out there. So if I were doing a trawl for, let's say, somebody who I was going to employ, or somebody I was going to introduce A to B, and I saw the damage or the negativity or whatever they've done on social media, you're just going to literally Control, Alt, and Delete. And that's what I also wanted to share with everybody. You know, get rid of negative people on your social media platforms. That's definitely an etiquette rule. Get rid of anyone negative. Get anyone that's affiliated or associated to people that just bring negativity, or they are associated with people who don't add value to the world. And I can't tell you enough how you'll start to feel so much lighter as an individual. And don't live through your social media channels. Please spend a bit of time educating yourself. Spend a bit of time on your social media by all means, but take the rest of the time that you're wasting on our endless minds of paging through various things, and go and find a subscription such as USA Global TV on YouTube and listen to the value add. You will grow, you will learn as an individual. Find things that will help you grow, because that is the power of social media. There's also, and the negativity so I'm really mumbling my words. The negativity through social media can trip you up in so many ways. It really and truly can.
Yes, I would say that sometimes it even comes out of idleness. Someone is idle and the only thing they can do it is to go and see, oh, Alice doesn't have another dress. You are wearing this dress again somewhere else. Well, you are coming it again. So they even have time to come and count your dresses, count the many times you have maybe touched your face or something. It's lack of focus in some ways.
I agree with that. And I think that lack of focus also aligns with lack of purpose.
Yes, true.
100%. 100%. So true.
Well, once again, we have gone way over the time for our show, which is great. And so, Alice, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I hope you'll come back again on this or any of our other shows. And I'm going to spotlight you and put up your banner for people who are listening on the radio and they can't read the banner, or for anyone who wants to know more about you and get in contact. What is the best way for people to reach you, and who would you like to reach out to you?
Okay, thank you again, Dr. Jackie. A pleasure meeting you and conversing with you. You're such a force. You can reach out to me through the address that is on the screen. My IG account is Alice Etiquette Coach. My Facebook account is Alice MUHIRWA. My email is displayed there, elegancevse at gmail.com. Yeah, I'm vibrant there. I try to respond by email as soon as they come, and I also receive DMs, only
All right.
focused DMs.
Thank you so much, Alice. I
Thank
just love
you.
your energy and your passion, and congratulations on all of your accomplishments that are really connecting with other people, because you can see from your trainees, your students, everyone loves you, and Philip speaks very highly of you as well.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
Thank
Alex,
you.
Always super. So lovely to see you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And
Have a great weekend too.
we'll
Thank
absolutely see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And again, thank you to everyone who is watching, especially if you're over on our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. If you would just click subscribe like Jassy did, that would really mean so much. And you can watch any and all of our, now it's going to be 21 live broadcasts each week. Philip, what would you like people to take away from the show today?
I would love to share with people that you know, if you are really struggling right now, start to turn your negative thoughts as best you can into positive thoughts, because whatever we talk about, whatever we say, we eat the fruits of our words. Okay, so that really makes it very clear to me that we're going to get exactly what we've been saying. And I think when you are starting to think, I'm always, no, the life's treating me really badly, I'm most really going to lose my job, you're starting to talk in the direction that you're going to land up going in. You need to turn that around, and you need to start getting rid of verbalizing negativity. And the moment you speak out anything negative, it'll start to take root. And honestly, I know for Dr. Jacqueline, I've got to know you, and I know myself, there have been times in my life where I'm about to say something negative, or I have a negative thought. I might even be about to say it, and I stop myself. I really do. And I really say, I'm not going to be, tripping myself up by saying that. I'm not going to speak defeat into my future or into my life. I'm going to really turn that around and speak favor into my future, and say things such as, I'm grateful. I'm so fortunate, I'm so blessed, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I've got so much to live for, I've got so much to offer, and this year is going to be a phenomenal year. And when we do that, we're going to absolutely be blessing our futures. We're going to move in the direction of the way we speak and the way we sort of behave and how we show up. So I think just through understanding that anyone out there who sort of has never really understood the importance of those words, etiquette, manners, emotional intelligence, start to take a deep dive into this arena, and you're going to see your life starting to shift and change.
Thank you, Philip. Great way to summarize. And how can people get in touch with you, and what are the courses that you offer for people who would like to take this journey of improving themselves, personal development?
Super. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com or hello, HELLO, at thebritishschoolofexcellence.com, and reach out to us if you want to have a call with us, an engagement, a chat. We are so open to that. Our organization delivers programs for children. We have a brand called Etiquette. We have mindset and manners, mindset and motivation for our teenagers. We have a program called The Polished Professional for business excellence and business etiquette. Train the Trainer, which is a program that Alice has literally attended last week, which she's working toward now becoming an accredited etiquette coach and consultant. We dig deep into our emotional intelligence arena, and then we have things such as styling, voice elocution. We offer a huge amount of diverse coaching and guidance, so mentorship, life coaching, business coaching, all under the umbrella of the British School of Excellence. And hold on.
Well, there's more.
There is. And we've just launched the most wonderful course on our program called The Power of Listening. And that is hosted and coached and trained by none other than the amazing Dr. Jacqueline. So We have got this course up and running finally on our platform, and I can't wait for you out there all you wonderful people out there to go and have a look and engage on this particular course, because it will absolutely change your relationships. It'll change your life. It'll add so much value to you as an individual.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. I'm excited about this collaboration that we have. And I wish you a beautiful weekend, and I look forward to chatting with you later.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. JACALYN. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Bye,
Best
everybody.
wishes to you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I just have a few announcements to share with you. And this is something that's coming up. It's very special. This is coming up May the 1st. It's our USA Global TV reunion show. This is open to anyone and everyone who wants to promote their business, their event, their film, their music, their book. So Alice, anyone out there who wants to let people know what it is they're doing. This is not an interview. It's all about your 15 minutes of fame on USA Global TV, letting people know what it is that you do and the value you bring. You can find the event over on Eventbrite or on my personal website, which is drjacalyn.com. I'll put it in the comments. The next thing is, as Philip mentioned, I am the listening mentor, and I teach people the power of listening, which listening at an elevated level is also part of etiquette and manners, because what I'm finding is that people are listening and judging what other people are saying. People are listening, I'm putting it in air quotes, and they're waiting to come up with a comment. As soon as you stop speaking, people are interrupting each other. So I teach people how to listen. I also have an elevated listening community, and you can join our community and be part of elevated listening and learn all that means. And you can go to my website, drjacalyn.com/join. And finally, my new book is coming out, Adversity to Awesome. This is a collaboration with, I think, 9 other authors. Each of us have a chapter where we share adversity that's happened to us, trauma that's happened to us, and then how we have grown and evolved and are helping others. So you can go and pre-order that on Amazon, Adversity to Awesome. All right, that's all the announcements I have for today. We will be coming back at noon Eastern time with our show, Adversity to Awesome. So please do join us for that. I think we have 7 shows today. You can go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. Excuse me, you can click subscribe, and all of our shows are aligned in playlists. So you can find the playlist that really resonates with you. Hopefully there's many of them. You can also go to our website to be a guest on our show. Our website is, guess what? Yes, that's right. usaglobaltv.com. You can go over there. You can book your session. All right. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to seeing everyone on our next program or sometime in the future. Take care.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.